Now, what if the path that we are going to use in finding the complex integral of a certain function f of z is a piecewise path? We know that the piecewise path follows the idea that there are more than one function or description of a function that describes that certain path. It may be a combination of a straight line, then later on a curve, or a circular path, then a horizontal line segment, so on and so forth. So how do we parameterize a piecewise path? Let's try to review that. If we have here the integral of your f of z dz along at your path, which is c, must be equivalent to your f of z of t, then z prime of t dt from a to b. So the complex integral of the given function, a complex function along the path which is c, is just equivalent to this form. So we were able to establish already how to parameterize a straight line path, parameterize horizontal line segment, vertical line segment, a curved path, even a circular path, whether or not it is centered at the origin. This time, if it's a piecewise path, how do we parameterize that? Now, the same thing will follow. We need this z of t with regards to the type of path and take its first derivative to complete the integral. But the parameter for z of t will depend on our path, right? Now, here comes the thing. One of the properties we were able to discuss previously is the additivity. Additivity, or the concatenation of points. It is said that if your path is actually a combination or a union of two, or let's say in general sense, or more, okay, paths, let's say n type of paths, as long as, okay, because for this idea in our property where the end of C sub 1 is the start of C sub 2. And basically, if it follows for the rest, like if there is C sub 3 here, the end of C sub 2 is the start of C sub 3, so on and so forth. If all of these are actually true, then we can just simply break it, or let's say, take the, what they call this one, the complex integral of each path. Let's say in this case, if we have here the integral of f of z dz along path c, and we know again c is the union of all, so it's just equivalent to the integral of your f of z dz for your first path c sub 1. You add here f of z, the same function for your second path, until you reach, of course, your c sub n path. Again, this is on additivity or property for our complex integral. And what is the point of this one here? Take note that if we can actually emphasize the specific type of path, if this is actually a curve, if this is a horizontal segment, if the nth path is actually a circular path, then you need to apply all the parameterization of each type of path. We do have formula for each, right? So we're going to use the parameterization of each depending on which function as well. So say for example here, you will have your z of t sub 1 on whatever that type of path is. For this one here, z sub 2 of t, whatever that path is, and then so on and so forth. We also have here z of n of t, and of course its corresponding first derivatives. Okay, you will have here z sub n prime of t. In short, we will have a series of this as well. You will have one version for this, plus one version for that, plus that, plus one version of this. This is how we parameterize a piecewise path. Okay, because our piecewise path rather is just a combination of all, as long as it follows the certain condition here. So we don't have specific form for this. Simply try to review the specific forms for straight line segment, horizontal line segment, vertical line segment, parabolic curve, or parabolic or curved path, circular path centered at the origin, or even the circular path not centered at the origin. You're going to provide all of these pairs each, and then later on apply them into this one here multiple times and multiple of times depending on how many paths do you have in your piecewise path, and then combine all or add all results to get the complex integral of that function along that path C. We may have a simple example for this later on, so please stay tuned for that. I cannot give you a specific example at this point, but hopefully when we reach that example, you're able to understand how to parameterize a piecewise path. Thank you very much for watching.